Photo of Glare, what's the crack? Back in the gym. So today I wanted to do cleans, was to do a power movement, but my elbow was quite sore, my left elbow there. I hyperextended it at a football match a couple of weeks ago and it wasn't giving me any trouble, but I don't know, today it just seemed to be giving me a lot of trouble, so I decided not to do cleans. So instead I did some deadlifts. So again, I was doing the deadlift for a power movement, so I did sets of 5 and I kind of gradually worked my way up to a pretty heavy set. So like everything else, technique set at the beginning, a bit of a warm-up set, and this time all I did was gradually increase the weight as I went. Okay. So what am I on here? 20, 30, 5, 115 I think maybe. So with each one of these, all I did was did the 5 reps. I didn't go for 10 reps if I felt I could. I just did 5 and stopped. A lot of dancing going on today. A lot of dancing. So gone up again here to 135. I was able to bang out 5 of these. Pretty good. Again, using my Valsalva maneuver. So important. Okay, Valsalva maneuver. Go and check that one out on one of the previous days if you haven't checked it out already. I think it might have been maybe 4 days ago, I think. 4 or 5 days ago. So I moved on up to 155, and this is pretty close to my 3 rep max. And I was able to squeeze out 4. Here we go. Number 4. And I was like, I'll go for a 5th one, but you'll see here now though it wasn't happening. So again, in between those sets, good 3 to 5 minute rest. And after that, really, I didn't have a lot of time in the gym, so I was quite kind of late, so I wanted to get home early. So I did a superset with bench press here, a TRX kind of a pull-up row, and a shoulder press. So I'll take you through something here now as well. So this is my TRX motion. And so again with this one, just trying to keep the posture nice and straight. And doing 10 reps in each of these. And then I just up the angle of the bench press and moved into shoulder press. Now, with my bench press and my shoulder press, on my first set, I went through full range of motion. So with our bench press, we're working chest, but we're obviously working triceps as well. With the shoulder press, we're working deltoids, so our shoulder muscles, and we're working triceps as well. So what ended up happening during this superset, I actually did, it ended up doing 5 sets of each exercise. But what happened pretty early was my triceps were just gassed. I was literally doing, two of those exercises have a large tricep component. So I ended up having to change up my movement patterns on both my bench press and my shoulder press. So what you'll see is with my shoulder press, I don't go anywhere near the top. So I don't know if I do it now in this one. Yeah, I do. Yeah, so you can see there I'm not going anywhere near the top. I'm not locking out at the top. I'm only going through half the range to 3/4 of the range. So I'm getting the lower portion of the range in, and that's concentrating on my delts. Whereas the upper portion of the movement is more concentrating on the triceps themselves. Same principle here with the dumbbell press. I had to drop it down this time because my triceps were killing me. So again, the lower portion of the exercise concentrating more on the pecs because my triceps were gassed. Alright? And then the rows were grand. I was able to do 5 sets of 10 in these, and they obviously got harder as I went along, but the killer was obviously the bench and the shoulder press. So again, back into shoulder press, as you can see here, not going through full range of motion, but I'm making sure that I'm getting down to my shoulders. I'm pressing overhead, keeping the back pressed in against the bench. So I don't want my arse to slide forward on the bench. I want to keep it nice and firm against the back of the bench. So back into bench press then, and again, as you can see, I'm not going through full range. So just trying to concentrate on the chest muscles more so than the tricep muscles. And yeah, more or less I took very little break in between all of these. As you can see, I'm just kind of skipping between the exercises, and your break period is more or less when you're doing a different exercise. You can really see it here now where I'm not going up to full range on the delts. I'm also trying to keep those elbows back as well, because if your elbows come forward, you're bringing more anterior delts into it. And I want to try and focus on some posterior delts more so, because we're actually getting a lot of anterior delts in any press motion we're doing. So on my final set, and I actually should have done this earlier, I changed it up to flies instead of dumbbell press to concentrate more again on my chest. I did that for my final set, but I actually should have done it maybe for my last 2 sets, because again, my triceps were really working hard. And again, final set on overhead shoulder press. Again, going through the full range down to the bottom. I'm making sure that I'm touching the barbells or the dumbbells off my shoulders so that I can get in some good deltoid activation in that. After that, then I did some core. Now this is, I don't know if you've seen core done like this before, but this isn't the usual core. So this is really challenging. Trying to use the TRX.
Oh, I can get it.
Getting it into position is hard enough as it is.
Oh, I can get it. Oh, fuck's sake.
So this is really challenging core. So set up the TRX as shown. There's a couple of different moves you can do. You can do that side to side. Yeah, I was knackered doing this.
Camera on the ready.
So you can do the tuck the knees in. You can bring the knees to the side, each side. You can also do alternating knees where you bring one knee in at a time, and then the final one then, which will come up at the end, is like a jackknife movement. But this is challenging. I mean, get on the TRX machine like this, and or the TRX pulleys, and you are going. This is the jackknife at the end. This is really hard. So I think I banged out about 20 of those in the end, but that is super challenging core. If you're talking about sports specific stuff, this is what you want to be doing.
Alright, done.